This movie we have really been waiting for. Huge expectations for this film.
You?
Yeah.
I've been waiting for.
I've been waiting.
I have been too. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is probably the most look forward to after Avengers.
And I'm going to turn to Brian because it seems like you guys want to talk. Oh no, I mean Kevin. I'm going to turn to Kevin.
1 week he's not on the podcast. He forgets his name.
Sorry, I am so sorry, Sean. I mean Kevin. So, Kevin, take us away. Prometheus.
There's a lot of parts in this I really enjoyed. I love the Alien series coming into it, but even without that, there's a lot of history in the name. There's a lot of history in sci-fi that I was really looking forward to with this movie. I was very pleased with it. I mean,
it sounds like you want to say something bad about it.
I do, only because I don't want to necessarily say, oh, it was this amazing movie. It was a really enjoyable movie. There was a lot of great things. There was a few pieces that I didn't agree with as I was watching, and there were some things that afterwards I kind of thought about. What do you mean by agree
with? Like, you feel like philosophically you
No, just I guess maybe the choice that Ridley Scott, as far as characters,
did the geologist
for one.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
being a geologist in my former life. No, prior to this, I mean, like you brought it up in a joke beforehand. Why would they bring a geologist?
Who's such a dick?
Personality aside, I mean, if they're looking for life, why do you need a geologist?
Why not? You're going to a new planet. You need a geologist to study the rocks and understand different things. You need a biologist, a botanist, all those life sciences. You don't necessarily need a job. But anyway, that aside.
It's too bad they didn't actually bring
Nate knows he's been to other planets before.
And then I saw the movie.
Better than Avengers?
Better than Avengers. This is the best movie I've seen all year. This is... It's absolutely stunning. It had so much to... first off, it's shot beautifully.
Mm-hmm. It is shot very beautifully.
It is absolutely gorgeous.
It might be actually, I was thinking it might be Ridley Scott's
best shot. It's so beautiful. And I think what it does for the Alien saga, what it is looking at... This is a film that is looking at the very soul of man. Mm-hmm. And it does that in a very simple way. It lets you know that by making references constantly to Lawrence of Arabia, which is another film that's the point of that film, is to look at what does it mean to be human. And I love the character of David, of this, trying to understand that through, and brilliantly they have David, Michael Fassbender deserves probably an Oscar for this, because he's channeling Peter O'Toole, but he's channeling someone pretending to be Peter O'Toole as Lawrence of Arabia. And Noomi Rapace was fantastic. Mm-hmm. I'm going to continue mispronouncing it. How do you say it?
Noomi Rapace.
Noomi Rapace. This was the movie that actually showed me she can really act.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She was amazing. And I think what it does from a philosophical standpoint, I love films that really have that deep, rich theme. And this goes to what does it mean to be human? The absolute deepest thing you could possibly go to. And it presents every single viewpoint. And sometimes what I hate about films is they present every single viewpoint and then they're afraid to take a stance as a film. But this film does. At the very end, she says she tells David, she wants to know the answer why. That is what makes a human. So it allows every audience to have...
I like the sentiment. I thought she delivered that line really badly.
I didn't think so.
Basically, it was like, I'm human and you're a robot, and that's the difference. I was like...
Especially
the sentiment is good, but that line is terrible.
Especially with what just happened to her.
Yeah.
I mean, she witnessed everyone else on the crew dying in the last 30 minutes, and then she's lighthearted and carefree, all of a sudden.
And the Prometheus guy
scene where she does surgery on herself is the scene I'm going to remember.
Yes.
That was awesome.
Oh,
I was terrified.
That's one of the most tense things I've ever seen. Yeah.
Watching their faces was awesome. I turned over.
Because he's probably
Steve's like this, and his face is just pure agony and enjoyment all at the same time.
I was sitting there with my hand around my throat,
That reminded me how good of a horror director Ridley Scott is. Because it's so tense.
But I wish the whole movie was that good.
It was. It doesn't have to be. It has such a good build-up, which you rarely ever see in a horror movie. It does have a good build-up. It has an amazing build-up, and I think it delivers.
Don't you think that whole storyline cheapens the alien
What storyline?
mythology. That I mean, basically, so aliens come from two scientists getting dirty one night. That's where aliens come from.
No, they come
not where
from.
they come from.
That's
yeah,
not where
because
they
that's
come
the
from.
face hugger that was
But
inside the
but
book.
that came from some kind of a mutation from worms that just happened to
Right.
be there.
Yeah,
so it
so
came
it-
from, which was something that the Prometheus were making.
I don't know,
and
it's
Like
working
every
with, yeah.
time it goes through another generation, it goes through a mutation.
No, I realize.
And it's taking the marry the two. So when the male doctor, I don't recall his character name, when he gets infected in the champagne glass, so then it mutates within him,
Charlie.
and then he
But
passes it on
the
to
thing
her.
is, it's passed on through. I
Right.
think the fact that it's passed on through sex
Right.
is just kind of stupid.
No, but that matters because this is a woman who can't have a child.
Right.
This is a woman who's
Yeah,
incapable
so
of actually
that's-
creating life, and it talks about the aspect of what does it mean to actually create life. Well, because the Dr. Charlie Holloway challenges that. He says it doesn't matter who made them. What matters is that we can do it. Is that it can be created, and then it harkens back to the fact that yes, human beings can create life. Genetically, we can create a child, and it adds to her character. I think it really builds up a lot. And then, like you said, because it's this all constant genetic recombination, that means that to some extent we're responsible for the aliens. Life is always responsible to life in and of itself. Like there's always a connection. I think it's it's brilliant.
I was engaged through most of the movie in what was going on, but I didn't feel like anything was explained well enough. I feel like they just kept...
I liked that.
Things kept happening, but nothing
Makes
was
me
explained.
search.
But in intelligent science fiction, like this is,
Yeah.
I need explanations for why things are happening. Prometheus versus... Looks like there's going to be one more.
Yes, I guess.
Juno.
Oh.
It was
Prometheus.
Yeah. This comes down to a genre thing.
This is like the two sides of my heart.
So one side of your heart is the destruction of humanity, and the other one is pregnant teenagers.
They're both basically the same thing. Juno is such a smart film.
It is,
and
yeah.
it really takes that, which is it does what Jason Reitman does so well, which is looks at like modern America, and in this case, like a pregnant teenager, which is an issue, treats it with respect, and yet still manages to find the humor within it in a very mature way, which is so impressive. He does the same thing in Up in the Air, does it in Thank You for Smoking. I really want to see Young Adult. And it's one of these things that it's so fascinating. It's funny. It's rewatchable. It kind of really it changed film because you got a lot of films that play off of it. You know. The other side, Prometheus, is that film that really it engages me from a philosophical standpoint, from a visual standpoint. It's amazingly
And Ellen
directed.
Page's character is so complex.
Yes,
in the movie.
yeah, she's
I
one of
think
those
that's what I
complete
appreciated most about Juno is just the complexity of that character.
She's a strong woman who still wants to have a
so
boyfriend.
broadly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the scene where she's sitting in the car crying
Oh
was just
yeah.
heartbreaking.
I remember it.
I think it's after Jason Bateman's character hits on her,
Oh, yeah.
Well, and she realizes that he's kind of a jerk. Yeah.
and she drives away, and she just pulls over on the side of the road and just breaks down crying. It was
That relationship with Jason Bateman and the the controlling wife, because normally in films it's the controlling wife who's the bad guy, right?
She turns out to be the sympathetic
She
one.
turns out to be a sympathetic. That's so.
Yeah.
That's
Jennifer Garner.
amazing. Yeah, Jennifer
Who
Garner.
doesn't get enough credit as an actress? I don't know.
No, she does a really good job in that.
It's because she was Electra.
Yeah. She'll never be able to overcome that.
That's gonna hurt her.
So
Yeah.
I'm going Juno.
I'd go Prometheus because ultimately it becomes I'd say quality wise they're equal, but this becomes a genre test and I
haven't seen
this is a really really good teen comedy.
Yeah. I
You
go
know.
Prometheus, though. I like that better.
I'm gonna go Juno. You know why? Because there are some moments in Prometheus where it's the two guys at the very end where Idris Elba like crashes his ship into the other ship, and there's those other two supporting characters
Who were never established. by the way.
who are not established. And there are some weak things like that in Prometheus.
Yeah.
There's nothing like that in Juno. It's just brilliant from start to finish.
So we're at a stalemate on this.
Oh, Brian.
I haven't seen Juno.
I think when's the last time
So
you saw
which do you
Juno?
prefer? Alien invasions or teen pregnancy?
No. That's not a valid question, sir.
It's the same thing.
I can switch to Juno. It's not that big of a deal because they are pretty equal. To
Juno?
Yeah.
Okay.
Woohoo! Teen pregnancy.
There you go. That's it.
Nice.
So that should put Prometheus.
I think somebody else should edit this week.
Yes, definitely.
Anyway, alright, that'll put Prometheus at 174. Okay.
Woohoo! Teen pregnancy. All right, what do we want to talk about as far as the movies go? Like anything in particulars?
Charlie's there.
Yeah.
Just give it a good whack. Stick it.
It is